Hello guys, how's everybody doing today? My name is Juan. Um, it's gonna be my first time doing this. I've been trying to get closer to God. I've been trying to grow my faith spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically with God. And today we're gonna talk about wisdom and knowledge. What is wisdom? What is knowledge? And before I start, I just want to let y'all know I'm not perfect. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I got my struggles. There's some things that I need to stop doing. And change doesn't happen from one day to the next. It takes time. It takes patience, perseverance. And most importantly, real change is within, but it comes from God. Everything good comes from God. Nothing that we have that we say you might think, oh yeah, I'm a good person, or this is that. I did this, so I'm good, or like nothing good comes from us. We are sinners. We are sinners. We are born with sin. And yeah. So let's get into it. Wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge. Its value is greater than money, woman, houses, cars, status, beauty, fame, power. See, a lot of us, or let's talk about me. Sometimes I'm wishing I have. I wish I could have more money, and be able to afford a couple things that I wish I had. But what is good to have to make thousands of dollars a week whenever you can't even save not even 10, 15, 20% of what you make, and by the end of the week you're broke. You don't got no money. You can't and you gotta wait till the next check. So wisdom and knowledge, its value is far greater than money, than a woman. Everyone has a different situation. Everyone wants to have this or that. Everyone struggles with an idol that we have. It could be money. It could be woman. I know a couple people that love women. That they see a pretty girl out there, and I want that for me, and then boom, on to the next one. Houses. There's somebody that doesn't like women, but they prefer to have a big house, and that. Or somebody likes cars. Somebody wants status. They want to be well known. Somebody wants to be beautiful. Like, somebody wants to have fame or power. But we gotta stay focused. Wisdom and knowledge is the key. So what is wisdom? What is wisdom? And I put here, I believe that wisdom is the act of knowing how to use knowledge. It's the act of knowing how to use knowledge. So what is knowledge? Knowledge to me is the truth, to know good and bad. What's next? It's the what, when, where, why. Wisdom comes from God. Knowledge comes from God. We need understanding in order for us to be wise. That understanding is through prayer, experience, patience, sacrifice, dedication to learn. You know, sometimes this is personal experience. I can't go out in the real world if I feel like I don't have knowledge. I gotta know some things. I gotta be able to move around because of the type of people there is in the world. You got people that struggle with certain things. And I ask God, help me be around these people because eventually I'm gonna have to come across somebody that is different. And I can't do it by myself. I ask God, help me be out there. Help me know when to speak. And I feel like, like Solomon asked for wisdom, and it was still hard. It was still hard, but it's my first time doing this. So what I'm trying to say is that I need to study more. Honestly, I need to study more the Bible. I need to study the Bible more. I need to pray more, get on my knees, and ask God to help me with wisdom and knowledge, to help me understand things that I still don't really comprehend. And there's some things, honestly, that there's not gonna be an answer. You have to be patient. You have to wait on God for Him to answer according to His time and His will, not mine, not yours, anybody's. We take this for granted. We take the Bible for granted. There's so much wisdom. There's so much knowledge in here. We rather go get the wisdom and knowledge from our best friends or Google. Of course they're gonna have just a little tiny bit of what we're looking for, but in reality, what we really want is for God to open our eyes, for God to help us understand more, outside the box, to help us have faith and to believe in Him. I'm not gonna lie, I grew up in church. My mom used to take me to church growing up, but at a certain age, you see all these things around you and you wanna go out there and experience new things and go out there and party and drink, smoke. And I mean, I feel like not everyone that grew up in church probably feels like that, but I did. My cousins, I would see my cousins, my family members, my friends be out there, and I wanted to do that. Eventually, I was gonna do it. Eventually, I was gonna do it. Knowing me, I'm really, I'm really curious. I don't know how you curious. I don't know how you say that. English is my second language. But I always wanted to, experience things, and that was me, man. I always wanted to go experience things. The stuff that I see, you know what? I want to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And well, getting back to what I was saying, yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to be humble. It's hard to, God, 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 God. It led me to a wrong path. It led me to addiction, to weed addiction. The age of late 17, early 18, that's when I started smoking. I fell in love with it. When I took the first hit, man, I was happy, man. I was laughing. I was joyful. Me thinking that's joy and happiness, but it really ain't. I was cooling. I was man, I used to roll up and smoke. And then ever since then, everywhere I go, smoke weed. On my way, before going somewhere, I would roll up and smoke. On my way, I would smoke. Get in there, I would smoke. On my way back, I would smoke. Getting back to, either my house or wherever, I would smoke. I'm talking about smoking all day, every day. And that smoking kind of led me to, to certain things like cocaine, a little bit of kush, a little bit of drinking, a little bit of partying. And, you get the memo. And that's what happens when you get away from God. That's what happens when you decide to say, you know what, God, I don't need you. I don't want you. I'm going to do it on my own. And that's where I didn't have wisdom or knowledge. And that was my downfall. But thankfully, God brought me back to his word. He brought me back to his feet. Even though I'm still struggling, not like how I used to with weed, but it's time for me to stop. It's time for me to do a change, and honestly, it's hard. I didn't have to go to, thankfully, and I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but thankfully I ain't had to go to no therapy or sometimes it's that bad that people gotta go to certain places to start smoking. Thankfully, I'm not one of those persons, and I think it's all because of God. It's all because of God. It's not because of me, because I'm better than anybody, but it's because of God. And yeah, man, ask God to help you with whatever addiction you have. Ask God to give you the knowledge, the strength, the wisdom to help you overcome addiction, to help you overcome any obstacle in your life that you have. Going back to whatever it is, to money, to woman. You want a big house, you want a car, all these materialistic things, they don't matter no more, there's a point in time where you just gotta understand, man, that it don't matter anymore. It's really about being good with God, family, being, your family, and then yourself. At the end of the day, man, what's up with what's good with all that when you don't even have health, you can't even go outside, you can't live. It's like all these materialistic things too. We lose our focus. It confuses us of what we really want in this life, in this world. And it's the truth in things. Going back to wisdom and knowledge, one of a lot of stories that we know is Solomon. What did Solomon ask for? He asked for wisdom. He asked for a heart to judge good and evil. Us, okay, I say about me, it's hard for me to love. I'm going to tell you that. It's hard for me to love. The things that I love the most, I treat them like, whether it's from my girlfriend, my family members, co-workers, even to myself. The things that I love the most, I treat them like nothing. We gotta ask for a heart. We gotta ask for love. And I feel like it goes back to, growing up. My people didn't show love. I had both parents, sometimes you're like, man, you grew up with two parents, or it's not all beautiful. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. Growing up with two parents, you know, and I'm thankful. You know, I'm thankful. I'm not saying, oh, you know, like I'm not trying to put nobody down. I'm not trying to make it seem any type of way, but I'm just telling you how it is. You know, I thank God I did grow up with both parents because you have that family thing, and I'm thankful. You know, I'm thankful that I grew up with both of my parents, but it's not all happy. You know. Well, yeah, going back to what I was saying, you know, I didn't grow up with a lot of love, man. It was really tough love. You know, growing in a Mexican household, when your parents are from Mexico, straight up, cross the border, it's hard, man. You don't really get that love. You don't really get that affection, man. You don't. It's not really love, you know. You know, yeah, they love you, but then you know, it's not really love. And then, what did Solomon ask for? He asked for a heart to judge, you know, good and evil. But he needed wisdom to do that. He needed knowledge. He needed God. He needed God to open his eyes, open his mind, be open minded, have a heart, be able to learn how to judge. And he needed patience. You know, he needed patience. You know? And guys, I don't want to come in here and say that I'm better than anybody, because I'm not. I'm not better than you. I'm not at all. And I know that, you know, it took some time. You know, there's some people out there that are really prideful, and I was one of them. I was egotistic, or ego, I don't know, my ego. And I got, you know, I just want, you know, whatever God showed me, I want to put it out here, so hopefully I could help somebody. And yeah, this is it for today. Wisdom and knowledge. I hope y'all learned something. You know, it's my first time, but I want to keep doing these videos because I feel like God's telling me, you know, get up in here and try to help at least one person, at least somebody is going to get this. And I hope they do. I pray they do. And it's not too late to change. It's not too late to change. It's not too late to be where you want to be. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience. It's going to take a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of wisdom. But that comes from the Lord up above. Nothing good comes from us. Y'all got to remember that. But y'all have a blessed day. Thank y'all for watching. I'm out.